Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It. All right, today we are in the car today. I was gonna go to the park, but I have to start teaching classes soon, so I want to be close to the gym right now, right? So in this episode, I want to talk about calories and macros, right? So I feel like this is a very, very important subject because there's so much misinformation out there, right? I feel like there's a lot of information that's just off, right? All right, before I continue, right, I gotta say this, right? Calories and macros are the same thing, right? Don't let nobody confuse you. Calories and macros are the same thing. They are different, but they're the same thing. Calories, they have macros. Macros, they are calories, right? So they're the same thing. It's not calories, because I see a lot of calories versus macros versus calories, which is better, calories, which is better, macros. Like, it's the same damn thing, right? Calories have macros, macros have calories, right? What is the difference, right? What is the actual difference? Because I feel like when people try to explain calories and macros, they try to put both in a separate in its own category, like if it was two separate things, right? Which it kind of is, but at the same time it's not. It overall it's calories, right? If your goal is to lose weight or lose body fat, you can do both calories and macros. Macros is just the only difference is that macros is just a cleaner, more strict version of calories, right? So if you or let's say start a diet where you're in a caloric deficit and your goal is to lose weight or lose body fat, right? And you are in a 200 calorie deficit. So let's just say on average per day you're eating 2,000 calories. You start working out, you take away 200 calories, so you can be in a 200 calorie deficit, which puts you around 1,800 calories per day. So 1,800 calories is your deficit, right? 1,800 calories is your goal for the day to help you lose weight and body fat, right? And let's just say in order to get to those 1,800 calories, you're gonna eat whatever, right? So you can eat, I don't know, let's just say 2 slices of pizza. Then you can eat, a nice healthy meal that includes your chicken, some rice, some avocado, etc., right? As long as you don't go over those 1,800 calories, right, you're still gonna be in a deficit. Now, the only bad thing about just doing calories is that you get you're more flexible as far as the foods you choose. However, the foods that you choose do have an impact on your body. Even though you might have hit 1,800 calories for the day, if you did like 2 slices of pizza have a lot of cheese in it, have a lot of grease in it, have a lot of fats in it, and you're gonna feel super bloated, right, throughout the day. You might even gain weight. You're not necessarily gaining body fat, but you are holding on to a lot of water weight, right? So what do the macros do? The macros come in to avoid all that, right? They come in so that way you can make better decisions, better food choices, right? So for example, if the goal is still 1,800 calories per day, right? And we introduce the macros in there, so we break down the calories into macros: your protein, your carbs, and your fats. Usually your fats are going to be around anywhere from 30 grams of fats per day all the way up to 60, even 80 grams of fat, right? One slice of pizza has around, I don't know, 60 to 80 grams of fat, probably even more. I gotta look into that, but I know it's pretty high. So basically one slice of pizza is your fats. That's it. Like you can't have no more fats, right? Which leaves only your protein and your carbs. Keeping in mind that mostly everything that has protein and everything that has carbs do have a certain amount of fat in there. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna be over your fats for the day, and obviously that wasn't the plan, that wasn't the goal, right? So you are forced to eat healthy fats such as avocados, nuts, almonds, anything that has healthy fats in it, olive oil, right? To not go over your fats per day, which also helps you choose better protein options, right? You want to choose protein options that are very low in fat. That way you won't go over your fats. Same thing with the carbs, right? You want to choose healthy carbs that don't have a lot of fat in there, so you won't go over your fats per day, right? So once again, calories and macros are the same thing. The only difference is that macros are just a cleaner, more strict version of calories, right? You can't have your macros without your calories. And when you have calories, you're going to have a certain amount of macros, right? You might not have the right amount of macros if you just strictly go based of calories, right? Unless you have like a food law where you strictly got to eat off of certain foods and you got to stay away from other foods, right? But usually that's when macros come in: certain amount of protein per day, certain amount of carbs per day, certain amount of fats per day. All right. Now, before I continue as far as explaining like the macros and all that, right? I want you guys to help me stop the bullshit from others, from some trainers that aren't really like deep in this, right? Because there's still a whole bunch of trainers out there that do the whole separation between, do you want calories, do you want macros? Now, whenever they ask you that, right? That's actually a good question, right? Do you want calories? Do you want macros? That's not a bad question. The bad thing is whenever they give you macros, right, and they can't explain where they get those macros from. So if you ever receive macros, ask, what are the calories to these macros, right? If they can't explain that, they basically just did like a cookie cutter thing. They went on the website, they typed in your weight or whatever, and macros for this person that wants to lose weight that weighs around 175 or whatever, right? And Google or them, they're gonna give them macros, right? And they're not necessarily gonna be bad, but I mean, everybody's different, right? If they don't take their time to sit down with you, ask you about, for example, like your day to day, how many times are you used to eating, because that plays a big role, right? If you are only used to eating two meals with a snack every day, usually most of the time you want to bump those meals up. You want to bump them up to 4 to 5 meals to help you lose body fat the healthy way, right? And lose weight the healthy way, right? So obviously, it going from 2 meals per day to 4 to 5 meals per day is going to be hard for you at first, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And that's where the macros come in. With the macros, we can always do high fats, which are going to give you help you get to your calorie goals, because like at the end of the day, macros are calories, right? Gonna help you get to your calorie goals. That way your metabolism can speed up, and that way you're able to eat 4 to 5 meals per day later on, 4 to 6 weeks from now, right? So once again, whenever they give you macros, ask where are they getting those macros from, or what are the calories that they're getting those macros from, right? Because here's the thing, somebody cannot give you macros without knowing the calories, right? For one, they got to know what is your caloric deficit, right? Or your caloric surplus if your goal is to gain weight or gain muscle, right? So either one. They got to know what your calorie deficit is or your calorie surplus in order to break it down into those macros. Because like I said, calories have macros are calories, right? All right. So what is a better way to view it, right? Calories and macros, they're the same thing. They go hand to hand. Like I said, the only difference is that macros is just a cleaner, more strict version of calories. Calories is just all over the place, right? You feel free to do whatever you want with it, kind of thing. I'm actually gonna make a separate video breaking it down. So I need my whiteboard. So to be continued. All right. So I'm gonna explain this real quick. All right. Protein. All you gotta know is protein has 4 calories per gram. That's all you gotta know. Carbs, 4 calories per gram. Fats, they actually have 9 calories per gram. So once again, this is all you gotta know. This is why I say macros are calories, calories have macros. So once again, protein, 4 calories per gram. Carbs, 4 calories per gram. Fats, 9 calories per gram. Alright, so this is just one example of many. So you're going to take your goal weight. In this case, I put 160, multiply that by 12, which gives me 1920. 1920 are the calories per day. Alright, so once again, you got your goal weight, 160, times that by 12. That gives you 1,920 calories per day that you have to consume. So this is just like if you just want to do calories. Now, from here, once again, we're going back to the protein. All you have to know about protein is you only need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. In this case, the pound of body weight is 160. So easy math, 160 grams of protein per day is what you're going to need. All right. Now fats. With fats, you can mess around with them a lot. So you can go as low as 30 grams. I wouldn't really recommend any lower. All the way up to 100 grams. Right here, it really depends on who you are or the person you're doing it for. For example, if it's a person that gets super bloated pretty fast, you might want to stay on the low end, anywhere from 30 to 50. If there's somebody that can't really eat, that are not used to eating, but they need to get their calories in, then I would say anywhere from 50 all the way up to 100, right? Because fats do have more calories overall, so it is easier to reach your calorie goal with the fats. All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to get the protein, 160 times 4, so 160 is the grams per day that you need. Remember, there's 4 calories per gram, so 160 times 4 gives you 640 calories. With fats, we're going to go with 50 grams, so 50 times 9, so 50 grams of fats per day. Remember, 9 calories per gram, so 50 times 9, 450, that's your calories over here, 450 calories. So what you're going to do is, in order to get your carbs, you're going to add 640 plus 450, which gives you the 1,090. Now you're going to go back to your main overall calories for the day, which is 1,920, minus the 1,090 calories, which are going to give us 830 calories per day. Now you just got to reverse it. Remember that there's 4 calories per gram on carbs. So 830, divide that by 4, gives us 207. All right, 207.5, but we're going to keep it at 207. So 207 grams of carbs per day, it's what you're aiming for. And this is how you solve this right here. Once again, per day, you want to aim at 1,920 calories per day. You break it down into the macros, which gives you this: 160 grams per day. Here's the calories. 50 grams of fats per day. Here's the calories. 207 grams of carbs. Here's the calories, which overall gives you this amount of calories. Once again, calories have macros, macros have calories.